Today I'm going to talk about my innovation plan, which is using flipped classroom to teach writing for secondary students. So, as I have noticed some problem with my students, first of all, they often lack the enthusiasm in writing classes or when they have to do the writing assignment. Even though they have a good reading, speaking, and listening skills, they can understand, they can learn math, literature, and science in English with foreigner teachers. Furthermore, I can see that in their writing assignment, they often have to struggle to write complex and compound sentences, and redundancy is one of their common mistakes. The third problem that my students often have is they lack the ideas when they have to do the writing assignment. They often don't know what to write or how to develop their ideas. And I think this problem might stem from the fact that we only have 90 minutes a week for writing classes. So I think these times are not enough for the teachers to give instruction and feedback to individual students. So I suggest flipped classroom approaches to teach writing. So in this small picture here, so C and Connie in 2014 have explained the flipped classroom through Bloom taxonomies. So with traditional classroom, students often spend in class time for remembering, understanding and applying, and then they spend time at home for analyzing, evaluating and creating. With flipped classroom, they flip two stages. The first stage, remembering, understanding and applying, will be done before the class at home. And in class, the teachers will design the activities for students to evaluate, analyze and creating. So C. Strayer in 2007 also suggested a conceptual framework. He said he stated that the learning environment of flipped classroom will be influenced by extensive use of advanced educational technology outside the class and active learning during the class. And what I'm going to use with my research, I'm going to use the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a platform that is really easy to use for everyone, and students only need the Gmail address to access Google Classroom, which is free, and it can link to a lot of Google, like Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Calendar and Gmail. And the advantages of Google Classroom is it can help the teachers to provide prompt feedback to the student, and it can sync with other applications, and it has an app on smartphone, so students can access or can ask questions whenever they can access the information or ask questions whenever they want, and the teachers can give feedback whenever she or he receive the questions. So my research question will be how can using flipped classroom positively affect student writing skill, and how students respond to the use of flipped classroom model in writing classes. So I have done some reading, and Abai and Dawson in 2015 have indicated the advantages of flipped classroom through two pedagogical theory. The first one is self-determination theory. So according to self-determination theory, people normally have three cognitive needs: the need for competence, for autonomy, and for relatedness. And flipped classroom might improve the student motivations because it creates a sense of competence, autonomy, and relatedness. And the second one is the cognitive law theories. So based on the cognitive law theory, each person will have their own ability to understand and remember things. So with flipped classroom, students can rewind or reread the content that they feel that they don't understand, and or they can skip through what they have already understand. So this is cater more chance to customize lesson to expertise the student, enabling more appropriate management of cognitive load. So the student can manage their own the knowledge load that they want to take in. And this is also supported by Ebert and Helsinki in 2015 and 2017. So they all agree that the flipped classroom model encourages students to be more independent, collaborative, and allow students to learn at their own pace. Another research has been done by James House, Wu and Marek in 2017 have came to a similar conclusions. The research has revealed that flipped learning meets the instructional goal of the class and prove itself to be more preferable and feasible than the traditional one. And it helped the student, and they also suggested that flipped instruction is an appropriate instruction design to teach English as foreign language. On the other side of the quantitative data, eDream in 2017 had done a research, and he came to a conclusion that 85% of his participants agree that or respond that they like the flipped classroom implementation than the traditional one, and it increased their curiosity, readiness, and retention of knowledge. The second one is Helsinki in 2017. So on his research, 70% of the participants agree that flipped instruction model has more advantages than disadvantages in writing class, and 74% stated that they prefer the flipped classroom model. And the most recent research done has been done by Nguyen in 2018 in a university in Thái Nguyên, Vietnam. So her student confirmed that flipped classroom increase the interaction between teachers and students, and it helped them to develop their good personal trait. So moving on, the research setting in the cultural aspect. I'm going to do my research in an international school in Hanoi, and my students are at the age of 13. There are 28 students, 9 girls and 19 boys. They all came from Hanoi, so they have a lot of similarity in the background, and their English proficiency is pre-intermediate. So regarding the cultural aspect, the first one I want to talk about is the foreigner language proposal, stage 2017-2025. It's emphasized on the applying advanced technologies in teaching foreigner language to students at all levels, and it also encourages teachers to use technology that allows students to learn at everywhere, every time, and at every means they want. The second one is my school is an international private school, so the director, the CEO, the school in general always encourage teachers to be more creative and innovative in teachings. And last, I'm considering myself as an inside change agent because I have been working here for more than a year, so I have the trust from the board director, student, and other teachers. The research method that I'm going to use is the qualitative research because I think that it is the most suitable one to answer my 2 research questions. So qualitative research often is rooted in social science and often used in educational research. So it describes and interprets a phenomenon or a process. So on this case, it is using flipped classroom in writing classes, and it's seek to understand the participation point of view, so it can understand my second question is how students respond to the using of flipped classroom in writing class. So for the data collection, I'm going to collect the data and analyze the data from 4 sources. The first one is the study journal from the student, which is collected weekly, and then the note from the teacher and also the researcher during the teaching and doing research process. The second one is the semi-structured interview will be conducted at the end of 15 weeks. So the interview will be taped, transcribed, and analyzed. The third one could be the observations from 2 experienced teachers who understand the flipped classroom model and the objective of the research, so they can observe me and the other student. And lastly is the documentary evidence, which is a writing assignment of students to analyze how they have improved over the course of 15 weeks. Moving on to the ethical consideration. So of course, all my students are under the age of 18, so I will need the approval from the school, the parents, and from them. So all the procedure of the research will be explained carefully, and I also explain to them how the data is going to be collected and analyzed, and the objective of the research as well. So the student is also informed that they will not be treated differently if they don't want to participate in the research. And to protect the student identity and privacy, all the name of the student will be coded, and we are only use code in the research report. And all the writing assignments of the student in the hard copy form will be kept in the locker that I am the only one have the key. And if they are the soft copy, they will be in a separate folder in my laptop and protected by password. So in conclusion, I hope that the student will positively respond with the using a flipped classroom models, and they can show great enthusiasm in learning with new methods where they can use technologies to assist their learning process, and they can have chances to using their creativities in doing assignment. And consequently, I hope that their writing skill will be improved remarkably after the research. So thank you for listening.